What an absolutely monster week in the market. Did you see what happened? Dude, I saw so many people saying that is an impossibility for the market to go up higher. I loaded the boat last Friday. I showed you all kinds of trade setups that you could have taken in the last week. I took a ton. In fact, I am now so deep that I've rolled my options several times. And now I'm up to 13 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13 trades on. And every single one of these trades is linked down below in the spreadsheet. And my entire trading plan is linked down below in a Google Doc. And this is the exact plan that I'm following for the US Investing Championship. Now, I lead off with saying all that because, well, I want to look at the most top 10 stocks here on bar chart that are the highest volume leaders for the week. And let's see if any of these are worth our time as professional investors that we want to put our money into. So first one up on the board, let's take a look at Nvidia. Oh, actually, I take that back. Let's take a look at the market. The S&P 500 absolutely ripped higher this week. Absolutely ripped, face ripping rally. And the buy signal came on Thursday, April 9th. Now, a lot of people were telling me, Chris, you can't buy this, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the Strait of Hormuz. That was this candle right here. And the crazy thing about it is that nobody can see the future. Nobody can see the future. But if you have a trading plan and you know what you're looking for, you can take advantage of the once in a generation moves like this, right? And I heard all the excuses this week. It can't possibly go higher. It's a low value or low volume fake out. It's going to break this or that trend line. Who gives a flying flip? The only thing that matters is price. And price was out of control this week. I hope you made some money. If you did, let me know down in the chat. We're sitting on a 9 of 9 on the market. It's getting more greedy. It's got the buy signals in place. It's got the bullish trends in place. We had a huge breadth thrust in the last few weeks, and this is everything that you could want to see, right? Let's go to the breadth, and we can talk about breadth thrust. Every single sector, excluding energy, has bullish breadth, meaning it's got more buy signals than sell signals coming through. And it's got more uptrends and less downtrends. This is exactly what a breadth thrust looks like. And there's no reason to doubt it. There's no reason to try and fight the trend. Just ride that bad boy. Just ride it. So let's take a look at the first stock on the board, Netflix. Netflix just posted earnings and got, it's a very technical term, it got hit by the monkey hammer. Yeah, terrifying monkey that is, right? Netflix got hit by the monkey hammer. Netflix stock fell about 10% on Friday, and its financial guidance for the second quarter undershot analyst estimates. And the shortfall and the news that co-founder and longtime CEO Reed Hastings is leaving the board of directors and ending his 3-decade association with the company, right? And that sent Netflix down hard and fast. Now, one of the things that I talk about all the time is you don't want to trade through earnings because it is elevated risk. It's absolutely an elevated risk point, but I love to trade up into earnings. If you had found the buy signal on April 7th, let's go mark April 7th on here real quick. April 7th is right there. Found the buy signal, rode that bad boy all the way up to earnings, and then got out of the way, you would have made a ton of money. Just imagine how much money you would have made on those calls. This is honestly one of my all-time number one favorite trade setups, is trading up into earnings and then getting out of the way before the risk comes back to bite me in the backside. What's the next stock on this list? Intel. Will Intel stock drop to 50? Hold on a minute. Hang tight. Have we seen Intel stock? Have you seen this? This thing has been running like gangbusters, right? According to this guy, stock has surged nearly 260% in the last 12 months, hovering near its all-time high price, right? But is it due for a steep pullback? Why would we even be thinking that? Why would, if it's hitting close to new all-time highs, that's bullish AF. That's bullish AF. Now, we do have earnings. Could this be one of those plays just like Netflix that you could take advantage of, run it up right up into earnings and get out of the way? Maybe so. Let's take a look at this, right? That buy signal came through on April 6th. And that's this, no. This candle, there we go. And it's run up so far, and it's still running like crazy. 36%. This stock has gone up 36% in 11 calendar days. That is bonkers. That is what the outlier 9 looks like. We call this a slingshot when everything is set up. When the market's bullish, it's got a buy signal, it's got bullish breadth. When the sector down here has bullish fear and greed and bullish breadth, this is everything you could ever want in a stock. I don't know why anybody would try and get out in front. Here we go. How about this? Why don't you go short this stock and tell me how well that goes? I certainly won't be, right? Because the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And just ride that bad boy, right? I'm not saying it's going to go to the moon. I have no idea where it's going to go. But the path of least resistance is definitely up. Just be aware, though, it does have some overhead order blocks right here, okay? Now, it's destroyed the last few order blocks. So just be aware that there is a little bit of elevated risk right there. Next one on the board, I don't know why this is gray, but we're talking about Tesla here. Tesla stock valuation stretch with limited margin of safety, but forward growth, blah, blah, blah. Tesla risks include stronger robotaxi execution from Waymo and Baidu. Really? What's it say about Tesla in Outlier? In fact, Tesla's been sitting on a sell signal for a hot minute. In fact, let's zoom out. Had a sell signal since December 29th on Tesla. Let's go to that real quick. December 29th, TSLA. December 29th to today, Tesla has been in a pretty ugly, nasty downtrend, right? And that's why having those sell signals gets you out of the way, right? So you don't lose 27% of your investment. You don't have to buy it all the way down. In fact, I would recommend not buying it all the way down. And look, it's starting to turn. We do have a bullish cross happening right here. The 10's gone over the 20, prices over the 50, but we do have earnings. Got to be careful of earnings. So what can we take away from this? First, when the market's crashing down, it is not an opportunity to load the boat because you have no idea how low it's going to go. That sell signal came at 462. At 362, you were probably screaming because you were like, I thought I could buy the dip all the way down. You don't want to buy the dip because you don't know how far it's going to dip. You want to buy the rip for the exact same logic that you don't know how high it's going to rip. And then I can hear the Tesla bros and the SoFi bros and all the other bros on the other end going, hey, I'm dollar cost averaging into this. I'm dollar cost averaging all the way down, my friend. Well, first off, we don't know if it's going to go back up. But imagine if it does do something like this. This is going to break your brain. You ready? This, and this. Let's say you bought the dip here, and here. And you got your average cost. And you're really happy with it. And Tesla starts turning around and you're like, oh, here we go. Can you believe that on the right side of the dip, on the rip over here, imagining if it does, and I don't know if it's going to, but your average cost is going to be identical down to the penny. And you'll be to profits that much faster. So stop buying the dip. If you're going to do anything, average into a stock going up by buying the rip. All right, a little trader tip for you right there. But Tesla, again, sitting on that sell signal. So this is not one that I'd be willing to get into right now. However, it is getting less fearful. Still doesn't quite have that buy signal in place just yet. But we do have the bullish cross that just happened on Friday. So you could be looking at that. Here's why I wouldn't touch plug power with a 10-foot pole. Followed by another story. Here's why plug power may jump 45% soon. Wait, what? Here's why I wouldn't touch plug power with a 10-foot pole. Here's why plug power is going to go up 45% soon. One of these things is going to happen. One of these things isn't. Or at least that's what they want you to believe. You can't predict the future, okay? And so both of these news stories are right here. Why I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole and why it's going to go up 45% soon. Let's look at it objectively. Plug power is a crap stock. It's a $2 stock. But it does have the buy signal in place. The sector, this is in the industrial sector, is getting more greedy. The sector has bullish crossovers on breadth. And so that's helping it out up here. And remember, the market is 40% of the move of all these stocks. 30% of the move comes from the sector. And the last 30% comes from the stock itself. And when you've got 9 of 9, that's what we call the slingshot. It's exactly what you want to see. And plug power, dude, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want you to ever put any sort of, I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole, or here's why it's going to go up 45% soon. Just trade along with the trend. And wherever it goes is where it's going to go. And you can make a ton of money not knowing where it's going to go. United Airlines and American Airlines both jump as oil eases and the Strait of Hormuz is opening. Dude, if you are in a airline stock and you got that buy signal on April 15th on freaking tax day. I don't know how much you spent on taxes, but boy, goodness gravy, it was ugly for me. If you were in those stocks, you were probably pretty happy today because this stock jumped up like gangbusters. In fact, it gapped up over 7% at the opening, still up over 4%, give or take, for the day. That's pretty great. Running into earnings, of course. And you do have that buy signal that just came through. So American Airlines, honestly, it looks really good. If it had more time, to earnings, I'd be pretty interested in this stock. It's got plenty of room up to this order block right here. How much room does it have? 12%. Yeah. With a news story like the Strait of Hormuz being opened and the fact that it started a bullish trend with the buy signal, everything looks gorgeous. It's got the full slingshot setup for it. If only it had more time to earnings, I would be very interested in this stock. So just be aware of earnings coming through. Just be aware. What about the next one? Blaize and Neotenzer enter into a contract for up to $50 million to deploy a co-branded AI edge data center across the Asia Pacific. Cool. I don't even know what any of that means, but I do know one thing. It is sitting on a sell signal. The trend was bullish. This is a dollar something stock. This is a garbage stock. This is not a stock that I'm going to buy. No way. The dollar stocks like this, penny stocks like this, they're cheap for a reason. Okay. Don't be one of those people that get suckered into it just because it's a low price stock. It's low priced for a reason. It's not a valuable asset. And this stock is not, I mean, honestly, I don't even care about this. I'm not going to be buying it, for sure not. Well, but this is the future of finance, bro. The future of finance is SoFi. And it got a buy signal. It got a buy signal on Thursday. Oh my gosh, the future of finance is great. It does show a little outlier block going on right here. Let's check it out on the trading view chart. Oh, you know what? In outlier, it looks like this block right here is not clipped all the way. But it should be by the end of the day. It should be by the end of the day. Does have earnings coming up soon. Does have that new bullish trend starting. But here's the thing. There's no news. There's no news on this, right? Everybody's trying to find a news story to say, oh, this is the reason why this or that's going to happen. Nothing's really going on with SoFi other than the whole market's doing better, right? A rising tide lifts all ships, and that's why we wait for the rising tide. In the meantime, you get out of the way and you don't try and fight the tide. But I did see that there was an analyst upgrade over here from Argus from, I don't know what it was, to hold price target. I don't know. But that happened on April 15th. So maybe that helped with the bullishness of it right here. And of course, this is the future of finance, bro. But imagine if you had gotten out of the way. Imagine if you had gotten out of the way on the December 9th sell signal. And then you wouldn't have had to endure. How big of a drawdown was this? You wouldn't have had to endure a 45% drawdown. Jeez Louise. And for you SoFi bros who are accumulating dollar cost averaging all the way down, if you had done it on the way back up, if it goes back up, you would have been in profitability that much faster for the exact same price. Ugh. But yeah, I'm a SoFi bro now. To the moon, baby. To the moon. Well, NewScale. Why NewScale stock? NewScale power stock jumped over 40% this week. The nuclear energy stock is riding a surge of global nuclear developments. Here's what you should do. First off, I'm not going to tell you at all what you should do. But it did rally 40% in a matter of days. I think this is another cheap stock. It's about $11 to 12 or so. It's not quite got that buy signal just in case yet. Not quite got that buy signal yet. However, I did buy Oklo. at the bottom of this dip down here. Listen, if Oklo goes back to $193, I'm going to be one happy camper. But what I see right now on Oklo was a buy signal that came through. Everything else lit up great on my side, and it fit my trading plan, so I took it, right? I'm not going to put any sort of limit on this, but I tell you what, there's a lot of overhead resistance around $93. But if it hits that 66 up to 93, I'm going to be a very happy boy. But let's talk about NewScale. There's a huge shift in sentiment for nuclear energy. But the thing is that like nuclear energy plants, they take years to put together, potentially decades, and all the headache and harassment and everything that you got to put together to have a nuclear power plant show up. Like, this is not a small time thing, right? This is not a small endeavor here, but maybe that's got investors saying, you know what, I'm in this for the long run. But I wouldn't get into it just yet. I would be waiting for that buy signal and that trend to actually confirm And then who knows? It could be off to the races. Hey, this stock's down 90% over the last 5 years, but it's up more than 30% in April alone. Is Snapchat finally a buy? Let's see. Well, according to Outlier, it is. Buy signal came on April 14th. It's got the full slingshot over here. And let's go look at the snap chart. Oh, so far, so good, right? But you did avoid that 40. You did avoid the 40. Hang on, let's see how far it goes. You did avoid the 51% drawdown, right? You avoided that, right? Because now you're on the right side of that bend. And who knows how high I can go? Who knows how high I can go? So do me a favor. Be sure you subscribe, right? We're so close to 50,000 subscribers, and we do these type of videos every single week. In fact, I go live twice a day, and I show all of my portfolio, full transparency, putting on the trades live, and these are the exact trades that I'm using in the U.S. Investing Championship with verified returns. So hopefully that'll earn a subscribe from you, and I hope to see you next time, where I'm going to help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk by clicking one of these two videos. We'll talk soon.